I'm continuing on Wings of Fire, Talons of Power. So we left off at we finished page 3. So page 4, I'm gonna do 3 pages every video of me reading a book, this long book. Just I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1. He failed, and they hated him, and he'd never get that chance again. That night, when he'd failed to find Snapper and save his unhatched sisters, Turtle destroyed every bit of writing he'd ever done and swore he would never write again. He'd stop dreaming. He'd stop imagining that a useless dragon like him could ever save the day or make something wonderful. He wasn't the hero, and he wasn't the storyteller. He was the idiot who fell over his claws in the first chapter, had to be rescued in the 4th, nearly ruined the whole plan in the 9th, and ran away at the end, or died if he was really extra stupid. So he did his one power stayed exactly where he was supposed to, under the surface of the water. In the middle of his pack of brothers, ordinary, unmemorable. A dragon nobody would expect anything from, and so nobody could ever be disappointed by him again. And that had worked for quite a long time, until he made the mistake of caring about some other dragons and trying to do a couple of little things to help them. And where did that lead him? Right to the feet of the most terrifying dragon the world had ever known. This is the part where I die pointlessly. The one who gets sacrificed so the real heroes can get on with saving the day. His wings were shaking so hard he couldn't stay in the air. He dropped down beside Moon and Quibbly, clutching the ground with his talons. Winter and Pearl were still hovering in the sky, their wings beating, silver and gold flashing in the moonlight. I need to hide, Turtle thought, but how could anyone hide from the most dangerous dragon in the world? A mind reader, an animus, and a seer would know the future. Knew the future. He can't read my mind, though. Turtle's glaze dropped to the 3 remaining Skyfire stones in his armband, which shielded him from mind readers. Maybe he had a millisecond to do something, anything, before Darkstalker foresaw it and stopped him. He scrabbled his talons across the ground, keeping his eyes on the towering Nightwing. His claws closed around something small and rough, a broken stick from one of the trees that had fallen when the mountain cracked open. Hide me, Turtle thought, added frantically. Hide from Darkstalker. Darkstalker stretched his vast wings and grinned at Pearl. That's infinitely better, he said. Nice to finally meet you, Pearl. Nice to finally meet you, Pearl. Thank you so much for your help. Pearl roared furiously, and threw herself at him, claws outstretched and flames blazing from her mouth. Pearl, Moon shrieked as fire engulfed Darkstalker's face. Oh, no. Darkstalker said, waving away the smoke. He pressed one of his front talons into Pearl's chest. and held her at arm's length while she struggled and tried to bite him. Pearl, very brave, but for all, I'm your friend. Although I realize you're new to that whole concept. Second of all, invulnerable scales over here. Didn't you know that? Didn't you know that? Surely that detail came up at some point in the great scary legend of Darkstalker. There's nothing you can do to me, little fire scales. So, settle down and let's start over. Pearl fell back, breathing heavily and brushing at her scales. Or Darkstalker had touched her. The smoke rising overhead. The smoke rising from her rings twisted into the thin clouds in the sky overhead. Turtle's heart was still pounding. Darkstalker turned toward Moon, and his eyes went right past Turtle as though the Sea-Wing Prince was not there. But Turtle still didn't feel safe. Not completely hidden, not yet. Darkstalker paused with the sight of with a slight frown. Weren't there more of you? He asked, touching his temple. Wasn't there something I particularly wanted to see? Moon glanced around, confused. Particularly wanted to see? Does he mean me? I need a better spell. Turtle thought in a panic. He gripped the stick harder. As long as the stick is near me or touching me, I enchant it to hide my entire existence from Darkstalker. That means he cannot see me or hear me. He cannot remember that he's ever heard of me. He cannot hear about me in other people's minds or conversations. And he cannot see me anywhere in his futures. I enchant the stick to completely erase the dragon holding it from the Darkstalker's awareness. The furrow disappeared from Darkstalker's forehead. Moon, he cried, beaming at her. We're finally meeting. All right. That was 3 pages. And bye. See you the next video.